Well.
Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Today taking a look at the Shadows of the Darkside release of R7-D4. This is specifically from the Clone Wars side of that line, and that is indicated on the top where underneath Star Wars you do see the Clone Wars. To the right of that, nice image of R7. Through the blister, of course, you do see your included figure, and off to the right of that is the Galactic Battle game piece, his card, stats, and such. You get that included dice. And at the bottom left of the card, you got his name, along with that CW64 for his number in the line. A little call out off to the right for some hidden gadgets, and we'll get to that when we go through the figure. On the back of the card, top right corner, once again, his name and number in the line. The rest of that top half giving you your bio information about R7, and then he's Plo Koon's astromech droid. Just above that description, you're going to get an image from the cartoon, and then to the right, you're going to see a nice photo of the figure, and then there it does speak about those hidden gadgets, which are the little arms that come out of the main body. Bottom half of the card showing off 4 other figures that were available in the line at this time, and then your little kind of advertisement and whatnot talking about this Galactic Battle game. All the figures in this line came with a unique card, and then a little photo kind of showing off how that game works. Taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, and really, I mean, it's an astromech droid. Not much to say about this, but it is a good looking figure. I do think this is an all-new sculpt for this individually released droid. I kind of word it that way as such because I also think he might have come from a Build-A-Droid line. I'm not entirely certain. The releases for R2-D2 and there was another droid in the line. Each of them had the little grappling hook thing that came out of the backside of the main body. This particular figure does not have that. What he does have are 2 holes at the bottom of the body on the sides. And that's what leads me to believe he might have come from a Build-A-Droid line, or at least this main body. Sculpting overall for this droid does look really nice. Still done in that animated form, so this isn't giving you that realistic, real-world looking droid. Not that there's that much difference to the way these droids look in the animation. You're going to get a bit more angular design for those, in this case, the 2 gray bars running across the top of the chest, or the main body, not chest. And the rest of the figure, little panel detailing and sculpting and such is just, I don't know, I guess a little softer is what makes it look a little more animated. It's kind of hard to describe, but it just has that distinct look to it as being from the animated show. The dome is done in a gray plastic, and then that burgundy color is painted on. Little blue specks off to the side of the eye port looks really nice, very well placed. Same for the black eye port. The round red dot for, what's that? I think that's a light also. The light blue placement and the silver for the scope coming out of the front of the head. And even the silver on the top of the dome. Also on the back, the yellow. And then you got those 5 different colors of little LED lights painted in. Very well placed, looking really good. You'll see the droid is currently standing with all 3 legs out, so he's tilted back. That bottom leg, which does pivot side to side, and I'll show that when we go through the articulation, but you can just snap that right out and have him standing in a more upright position if you like. And on that note, even, and another thing that leads me to wonder about this being from a Build-A-Droid line is everything separates off this figure. The head pops off, each leg pops off, and then of course, as I just mentioned, that 3rd leg pops out. So it breaks down easily. I mean, when you take that dome off, it even reveals a little bit of detailing being done at the top of the main body. Nothing really crazy, just, I don't know, just some sort of mechanical detailing being done in there. Very nice blue painting on that. And then for now, I'll just keep that 3rd leg off to help show off the rest of that body better. Body sculpting is looking pretty much like you expect a droid to look like. You've got some seam detailing. You'll notice that just off of the side of the main body, you got 2 little doors, and those do open up. That pops out those hidden gadgets that was mentioned on the card. That's what his little computer interface, and then the claw gadget. Obviously, nothing functioning with those. Done in the silver color, and no other real painting to it, which is just fine. It's certainly looks how it needs to look. And when you don't want to see them, the doors have a very nice snap to help keep that closed up. Rest of the detailing in that main body does look good. You had some nice painting of the vents at the very center of the chest for those green and black lines, and then that little black spot underneath it. Along the bottom of the body, some gray painted in where the vents are, and then little bits of light blue coloring for, well, whatever it is at the bottom center, and the little decoration on his left side, or your screen right as you look at it. On the back of the body, basically just a bunch of panel seams making up the bulk of the detailing through here, but you do have some other decorative paint applications being applied. That dark gray color for some more vents off to the side, and then mimicking what we saw in the front with the light blue coloring along the bottom of those 2 circular pieces. The legs of the droid are sculpted and decorated, well, like you would expect to see. So that means it does have a pretty simple look to it. That silver painting looking really good, staying where it needs to be. Nothing bleeding off on the edges. and then you get to those feet. The design certainly looks like it should, and then you got a couple wires on each foot kind of coming out from the center around to the side. One thing this droid does have, I'll stick that center leg back in, and that's at the bottom. Each of the feet does have some wheels placed in there. Honestly, kind of doesn't do much to help you roll the figure, but I guess it is better than trying to drag them along or something. As for the articulation, you get a full swivel at the head. Each of the legs can also rotate all the way around. You get some ankle articulation with some bending forward and back for the side legs. And that third leg can also do a full rotation. And then finally, no real accessories for the droid to speak of, but we'll still take a look at the other little fun things you get, and that is the Galactic Battle game. Here's a quick look at the dice with the various symbols on it. It is what it is. It's a dice. I never played the game myself. But if you did play the game, then here's the card that it came with. Nice photo of the droid sitting in Plo Koon's fighter with him off in the cockpit there. And below that are the various symbols that match up to the dice and the points that you get for whatever you roll. And if my great description of this game didn't help out, then you're in luck, because the instructions for how to play it are on the back side of the card, which slides into the side of the figure stand that's included. Not that this droid needs one, since he stands well on his own legs. And then looking at that figure stand, it is like the rest of them in this line. Just your basic two-pegged figure stand, gray plastic Star Wars logo on the top, and then there's a look at that slot that I mentioned where you can slide the card into. So overall for me, droids are always great for the Star Wars line. It certainly adds to the universe of figures that you have on your shelf. And there were a lot of droids in that universe. So it's awesome that Hasbro gave us a handful of these droids from the show to help build things out. And while it is a simple figure, I think they really nailed what they did. It's got a great sculpt. The paint application is fantastic. And since we received Plo Koon's fighter in the Clone Wars line, it's great that we have a droid that we could put into that vehicle. So that's going to wrap this one up. I'd definitely like to know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.